Hi everyone, Retrospective Scooters have got a sale on, an end of summer sale. Now we've got all these bikes on the website and you can go on to retrospectivescooters.com, have a look at our showroom. They're all on there and I'm sure we have a bike for every budget and every model that you might require. Today I'm going to show you a few Spanish bikes. So I've done a trip to Spain and brought back a few Spanish models which are subtly different from the Italians. Vespa in Spain was made in Madrid and they're called Moto Vespa. This is called a Vespa S. This is a Mark II. It's quite similar to a GL in the handlebar and the mudguard, but the rest of the bike has the characteristics of a GS 160 from Italy. But it is what it is. It's a 150S Mark II Spanish Moto Vespa. This is what's called a Moto Vespa L. Now the L is like sort of the VBB or Sportique in England model with an 8-inch wheel, and that is actually a model that could have had 10-inch wheels. It might have been destined to have 10-inch wheels, but they kept it with the 8-inch wheel. So this is early 60s, 62 to 61. Spanish racks, I want to talk about the accessories the Spanish had were much more robust, stronger racks, crash bars, and yeah, really well designed, this one in particular. And the Madrid rack. Moving on to the next model, this is a little Vespa N, early 60s model. Moto Vespa had their own distinctive little badge here on the front. It says Moto Vespa Madrid. It's like the Piaggio badge, but had the Madrid signal on it. This is original paint. They had unique things like this, like we call it a shark nose seat on it. It had subtle differences in the handlebars. This was the Spanish S Mark I, 8-inch wheel bike, late 60s, late 50s, early 60s, and 8-inch wheels again, similar to Piaggio VBB, but all of these were piston ported. Spanish bikes actually stayed with piston ported engines right up through to the early 70s, which was the reason why most people probably like to move put a Piaggio PX or later Piaggio engine in it, which is rotary valve. Although there are now cylinders and carburetors available for these old piston ported Spanish bikes. Just a little quick overview on Lambrettas from Spain. They were called Cerveta. Here we have a 70s Jet 200, and this is the early 80s, 1983 Cerveta Lynx. Where Lambretta left off in the early 70s when they closed down, Cerveta in Spain tried to carry on making Lambrettas, and there was just subtle differences with them as well. I mean, they'd done away with the runners, for example, and these all just had a flat mat. As times moved on, they updated them. Of course, they had indicators and 12-volt electrics like on the Lynx. And yeah, it carried on through to probably the late 80s, and then that really was the end of the Lambrettas. But at least the Spanish carried them on for another 18 years. You can go on to retrospectivescooters.com, have a look at our showroom.